Hey everybody, in this episode we talk about the boring game we just played versus the Sens. I'm just kidding. Cole Caulfield scored! We talk about a few other things also, but we talk Cole Caulfield. We're going to talk playoff bubbles. We're going to talk Sherrod or not, and we're just looking forward to getting back to this. Dive in, everyone. Here we go. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to FumblePuck. You're here with Ashley and Noah. Ashley, I believe there's two things that are super important for us to lead off with. First, I believe you have a shout-out you have to do.
I do. Hi, Dad. You asked me for a shout-out. Hi, Dad, to the second biggest Brendan Gallagher fan behind me. Yeah.
There you go. That's awesome. And then the second thing we needed to point out was I don't think much happened in the Ottawa game, did there?
No, pretty boring game, eh?
Yeah, nothing exceptionally exciting or amazing that made me scream and wake up my child.
Me neither. I didn't lose my voice or anything screaming either. I don't know what happened.
It was quite the game yesterday. You obviously watched the game. Like we got to sit through a whole game because it was exciting.
It was, you know what? When it was 2-0, I was like, oh shit, not again. I'm like, maybe they'll repeat last night, please. And my mom texted me, shut out. And then I wrote back saying, hope not. And then I tweeted out saying, please do not have a shutout. And then when Jeff scored about like a minute later, I retweeted it with thanks, Jeff. And then it was
so because of you, we won.
Well, it's because technically, yeah. And because of my mom for writing to me saying shut out. So yeah, it was so stressful though. And then that not counted goal. Where do you want Perry to go if Zub is smashing him into the blue paint and into the goalie? What do you want him to do?
That was tough. The thing on that goal where I kind of get it was that if you look at Perry's foot was moved to be right in the way of Gustafsson's foot, so he wasn't able to extend his foot out to make the save. So like it's obviously a touchy call, and they're never going to get a goaltender interference call right, regardless. But I could kind of get it. This wasn't like egregious to me. Okay,
well, Price in Moose Jaw says, "Hey." So what's up with that? You know, remember when that Price got like dragged to Moose Jaw and insurance?
That was the only saving grace from that moment was that it was a Rick Nash goal. So I kind of liked it.
Yeah, no,
but it sucked.
Yeah, well, because it's bullshit. That's not interference, really. Yeah, Zub was he pushed Corey Perry into the goalie. What do you want him to do? And I understand his foot was like halfway in the paint, but he still pushed him all the way into the paint. What do you want Corey Perry to do? Sit down, jump. Leapfrog?
But at least it wasn't Moose Jaw.
It wasn't. Well, whatever. Yeah. Frustrated. Anyways.
We've already dove into the hockey. That's awesome. Before that, how was your week? What's up? How you doing?
Well, I got my second negative result, so I'm officially COVID-free. I'm out of isolation. And what was crazy, so when they call you to tell you that you've been in contact with somebody, it says no caller ID, which you seem to think is on purpose, right? We discussed this, or is this an actual? Yeah. Okay. So on Thursday, I'm out because I'm finally out of my house. So I'm running an errand and I missed the call. And it says Santé Publique. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, did I misunderstand? And I'm like checking my email and it says negative, you do not have COVID. And I'm like, why are they calling me? So anyways, later on that day, they called me back and it was a message telling me that I'm allowed to leave my house.
That's so awesome.
Yep. I was like, woohoo, freedom. So I'm having a good week and what a wonderful 4-point weekend for the Habs. We never say that, especially in like May, because, well, they don't usually play 4-point hockey or 2-point hockey in May. Yeah, it was great. How was your weekend or week?
It was great. I was off work this week on vacation. I go back tomorrow morning. This is Sunday night right now that we're recording. I had a really good week off because I spent a lot of it just hanging out with the kids. I got a lot of really good quality time and it was nice. And I'm feeling refreshed and ready to go back to work tomorrow.
I don't think I'm ever feeling ready to go back to work. So how'd you do that?
Well, I mean, spiritually, I'm ready to retire already. So
me too.
That's like another thing. But like, I like where I work and I like the people I work with. So for me, it's pretty easy to go in and be like, hey, I'm back, you know?
Awesome. Well, I hope you have a wonderful week this week. And so does the Habs and so do us.
I shaved off my beard at the start of the week, actually.
I saw that. It was weird. What are you?
I'm cold. I'm like super cold.
I'm sure. Why are you Jeff Petrie?
No, because I would never have a mustache ever. I used to get my friends used to get mad at me because I wouldn't do Movember with them because I just can't do that. I don't believe in mustaches.
Me neither. But you know what I think Petrie's trying to do along with the other Habs? I figured it out.
What is it?
They want to be Ted Lasso. They just want to be Ted Lasso. That's it. That's the end of my theory.
I think they want to be like Lanny McDonald or something, you know?
No, Ted Lasso. Way cooler than Lanny McDonald. Ted Lasso.
So I've got some knee-jerk reactions for you to kick this off. Are you ready for them?
I am.
Okay, first up, I'm going to tee you up with an easy one.
Okay.
Andrew Shaw.
Aw, I personally think he should have retired like 5 years ago, but I liked him. I liked him on the Habs. I liked him in Chicago. I liked Chicago too. And I'm really, really, really happy that I'm not happy he's retiring, but I'm happy that he's putting his health in front of hockey and that he is retiring for the right reasons. And I wish him the best. He was a trooper with us. I really, really liked him. So yeah.
Yeah, it sucks seeing a career end early, but he's got some hardware to show for it, and he's well respected, and we wish him the best.
Exactly, and I think he's a great dude. So good job, Andrew. Happy retirement, buddy.
Awesome. Next up, I want knee jerks. I know we're going to talk about it later. Okay. Overtime.
Yeah, exciting. Last night, anyways. Last night was exciting. Normally, I'm like, oh God, not again. At least he didn't start with Phil Deneau in overtime. It was the second shift.
It was the second shift.
It wasn't the first. I actually wrote, I know I saw you wrote, put Caulfield on, and I wrote start with Toffoli and Suzuki and Petrie, and he did. And I was shocked. Was he listening to me? I was like, what? But last night.
They were great on faceoffs too, huh? Like the whole team was good on faceoffs.
Yeah, apparently the last couple games we've been dominating. We've been really good in faceoffs, which is so
every
weird.
single one of them was over 50%.
That's awesome and such a rarity, but awesome. We also dominated, I think, Winnipeg on faceoffs.
Yeah, the Winnipeg game was scary and it looked good. The Ottawa game was just like exciting from the start. Huh? It was cool.
Yeah, minus the first two periods, but yeah, no, I agree.
All right, next up, Nick Suzuki.
I love Nick Suzuki. I really do. You know who's his biggest fan?
David Suzuki.
No, that's his cousin. But Boyd Petrie. Have you seen the Boyd Petrie love of Nick Suzuki? Do you know who Boyd Petrie is?
No, is that Jeff Petrie's son?
Yes, and he is obsessed with Nick Suzuki, and it is the cutest thing ever. And he has they have him on at a Habs game. He's like, "Oh my God, it's Nick, it's Suzuki, mommy, Daddy, it's Suzuki." And he's so excited. And then last night he was standing on a table watching the anthems, and he goes, "It's Dada," and he's pointing at his dad. He goes, "Mom, I saw Dada," and then he goes, "Oh my God, it's Suzuki!" And he gets so excited when he sees Nick Suzuki. It's so cute.
What do you think Jeff Petrie thinks of the fact that his son cheers harder for another player on the team?
Well, his son also cheers for the Florida Panthers because he likes the logo.
Hey, that's fair. I grew up on top of the Habs. I grew up a San Jose Sharks fan.
My first hockey jersey, because I didn't have the Habs in stock, was an Anaheim Duck jersey because of the movies. It was the Mighty Ducks at the time.
Which logo was on it?
The Mighty Ducks logo, the duck with the stick.
The duck with the stick. That's awesome. Okay, because their jersey now is all right, but the old school their reverse retro jerseys this year are awesome.
I have the original jersey, I really have it. I'll take a picture and put it on Instagram or Twitter. I don't know where it is right now. I think it's at my parents' house.
That's cool. I had a San Jose Shark baseball cap.
Oh, that's cool. I had an Anaheim Duck jersey, Mighty Ducks.
And I wore it until it turned brown. I wore it all the time.
You still wear it?
No. I wore it I think from the ages of 5 to 11, probably.
Okay. You're forgiven. Okay.
I never wear hats anymore. I hate hats.
Oh, okay. Well,
my hair's too cool.
Oh, okay. Got it. Makes sense.
All right, we got 2 more for you. Next up, Jake Evans.
Love him. Doing great. Big fan. Love him. Think he's great. He's a total he's a beast. He's fast. He's aggressive. He draws a lot of penalties. It's awesome. He's great. I think he's doing wonderfully. What do you think?
I think he's great. The reason why I pitched Suzuki and Evans back to back on this was that both players were in pretty big slumps, and it seems like the last 2-3 games, since Evans has been back in the lineup, whatever, they've broken out a little bit, and I'm curious as to what made that happen.
Could it be the Caulfield effect?
I don't know. That for Evans, that's certainly possible. We'll talk about lines later, and I think there's something to that. But yeah, maybe it's interesting though.
I don't know. Maybe they're not the youngest guys on the team anymore, so they're now we have to act like older adults and play better and be more responsible. That doesn't really make sense, but and I agree with you. They're playing great. I just hope KK gets out of his slump. Not that he's in a slump, but he's kind of in a slump. And then we can have, well, also could be the line he's on, but I'm interested to see KK break out of his little slumpy thing too. But yeah.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
All right. What's the last one?
Are you ready for it?
Don't be Brady Kachuk. Yep.
It's not Brady Kachuk. It's Cole.
As in Goal Caulfield? As in my boy? If you watched Prodigal Son, you'll understand that. If not, you think I'm a creep? That guy?
No, it was Eric Cole. No, I'm joking.
Which Cole is it, Noah?
It's Cole Caulfield.
Love him. I'm number one of his fan club here, like obsessed. Love the kid. Oh my god. I literally screamed so loud last night that I think I got my neighbor back for blurring music at 8:30 in the morning, and I lost my voice from screaming so hard. And I've watched that clip of him scoring that goal. Oh my god, I think on a loop for like 15 minutes. Like I know the whole audio now of what happens, what the announcers are saying. I know it all. Oh my god. Oh, I was so excited and so happy for him. So well deserved. I mean, it's his fourth game. I thought he would have had like 10 goals by now, but whatever. No, I'm just kidding. What a love it. Love him. So excited. And if I thought he was keeping his numbers 22, I'd buy his jersey, but I don't think he is, so I'm not wasting my money on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a jersey in a pandemic year just because so much is going to change.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't ask for 22. They assigned him 22. So, no.
I'm okay with that.
I like it, but I don't think look, 2 rules my family. The number 2 rules my family. So I have a lot of 2s in my life, so I'm okay with him being a 22, but I don't think he's going to keep it personally. I think he'll go to 13.
What I liked about Cole Caulfield, not to into too much depth yet because we are going to talk about the whole game in a little bit. What I like about him is you can clearly tell his brain is working.
Yes, and how he's always open and looking for openness, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading on a message board last night how someone was saying how most goal scorers don't do that, but people like Ovechkin and Matthews do. And I was like, he is like that because he just finds the open ice. Do you see how he was directing with Merrill where he was going? That Merrill, like his brain is amazing and how he has the sense and the knowledge to know where to go on the ice to get himself open where no one's going to go find him and track him. Like crazy. And he's not bad defensively. Like I'm kind of impressed by the way he forechecks and can get the puck sometimes. I'm like, oh,
did you see his analytics for the last couple of games?
They're like off the charts, literally.
Yeah, they're like stupidly high. Like it was something like a 70% expected goals in Corsi, something like perfection line level high.
Which is so funny. He's a rookie in his 4th game, which is why
there's like some like statistical bias there, like it's small sample size, but still it's good to see that he's not hurting us defensively doing what he's doing. No,
and he's been honestly great. Like last night, I think the shots or expected shots or something was like 18-3 when he was on the ice.
In the 3rd period, our shots were 18-3 total. It's crazy.
Right, but there was something about him with 18 to something also.
I will find the stat because I laughed a lot about it the last couple of games.
Oh, his stats have been amazing. And he's been great. You know what? I thought you could tell it was coming. He was like playing better and better. I thought his 2nd game was his weakest. The 1st was okay. The 3rd was a great game against Winnipeg. It was a great game by him. And then last night he was okay. And then he scored in overtime and it was fabulous. And you could see how everybody was so happy for him. Like the whole team was just so happy for him. It was great.
Yeah, his celly was awesome in the way the team went nuts. And did you notice who picked up the puck for him?
I did. I saw Corey Perry do it before anybody else announced it on Twitter. I saw it. I was really happy. Did you see that picture?
That's why he's got the A. Him and Josh Anderson with their A's,
I love it. I think, I'm telling you, man, I've been saying it for weeks. I'd resign Corey Perry in a heartbeat. I think he's great.
I wish, but I don't know if I wish. I like him, I would, but I don't know if he's going to take someone else's roster spot. I do think he's going to demand a raise.
Well, he's getting $6 million from Anaheim or something, right? So. Yeah,
but why ever settle for less,
Yeah, but if he was a Habs fan and he came here partly because he's a Habs fan, and if we say to him, look, Corey, we don't have money, but we're willing to give you a $1 million salary, which is a little bit of a raise, why not? If he enjoys it here, I mean, it's up to him.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know if he enjoys it here or not because he hasn't been able to do anything the whole time.
Right. But also, wouldn't he like to experience it when we actually do have fans in the building cheering for him?
Get a chance to go to Club Super Sex or something?
Why would you go there?
It's athletes in Montreal. That's what they do.
He's married with a child.
Is he?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Married with like a baby.
Okay, I found the Caulfield stats from Mark Dumont. This was for the first 3 games, not even the last game. He had a 70.5% shot share, so 43-18. So they just dominated the opposition. He has an 84.2 expected goals for. Now, 50% is like in the middle. You're good. Anything above that's great. 84.2 is just unheard of. 88.9% high danger chance. So when he does take shots, they're high danger. Right. He had 7 shots and 5 individual generated high danger shots. Incredible start.
What does Matthews have normally in comparison?
Not that, but like the thing about this Caulfield debut, it's like it's a small sample size bias, so like it's not going to continue to be that good because it's frankly impossible. But like Austin Matthews will run a 63% expected goals. Like,
okay, I'll take Caulfield being in the 80s. Sounds good.
And Matthews exceeds his expected goals all the time because he's like the best goal scorer in the league except for Ovechkin. So,
right. I wish he was
not for long.
I wish he was in another division. Anyways.
I don't know if I want to say this out loud, but I'm going to because it's our job to talk on here, but I'm going to knock on wood before saying it. So you know how terrified I am of playing Toronto in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I want to play Edmonton in the first round. Yeah.
There is nothing in the world that would make, I don't care if we don't win the cup. If we can win a Toronto series and have Caulfield score more goals than Matthews, I will be able to retire happy. Life will be good for the rest of my days. Statistically improbable, I know. I'm not betting money on it, but I'm going to be a wreck during that play. Like, if we play the Leafs, I'm going to be a wreck. I won't be able to do it.
I really hope we don't play the Leafs. I hope that Winnipeg takes them out because I just don't want to deal with it. Oh, not because I don't think we can beat them. It's just they're so obnoxious. Like, I don't want to hear how wonderful Matthews is every 5 seconds. Oh.
Well, we're close now, right? So, like, the 4 games we've played since the last time we recorded, the first up was the last Calgary game. Weber and Toffoli scored. Petrie had an apple. That was Cole Caulfield's debut. Good game, like it was all right. Then we had the Matthews Toronto Maple Leafs game with the Matthews goal. That was the most ridiculous goal I've seen in a while. Really frustrating.
Yep.
But then we had the back-to-back wins, Winnipeg and Ottawa. So the Winnipeg win was cool because it denied them 2 points that we took. So we're right behind them in the standings.
Yep.
Double that up with an Ottawa win yesterday. And hey, we're 2 points behind them, right?
Yeah, and we both have 6 games left, I believe.
Yeah, so there's a real opportunity there. The Toronto games this week are going to be a big challenge. In our initial agenda, because we are loading it up as a weekend one-timer before Eric was gracious enough to come on the pod and talk with us. My hot take was that we were going to dominate the Senators and beat them handily. We didn't quite beat them handily, but at least the entertainment value was there and we got the win. So not quite a great hot take, but I'll take it to looking at the standings now. I like where it got us.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that win. It was a very gutsy win. 2 come from behind wins, both down, I believe 2-0 or down by 2 goals at least both times. And it was great. I mean, nerve-wracking, nail-biting hockey, but it was exciting and we won, so I'm happy with it. I don't know why I have to keep spotting these teams 2 goals, but whatever.
Oh, I don't know. Caden Primo looked all right. I think, he looked okay. He wasn't amazing, but he did the job, and I don't think he was terrible, so.
I thought he looked good last night. He totally got overshadowed by Cole, but he did look good. So, yeah, good job, Caden.
Yeah, there was some conversation happening on Twitter earlier today about, he I don't know if he's ready to be a backup yet. I think I agree. I don't think he's quite ready. I'd like to see him hammer out another season in the AHL. For me, I think it's a pretty important part of our plan next year to find a way to keep Jake Allen.
Depends what Vegas, wrong one, what Seattle wants. P.S. It's not fair that Vegas doesn't have to give somebody, given that they were given such elite talent to start. That whole thing is bullshit.
They were not given elite talent to start.
Whatever, dude. We're not going to.
So that's the thing about the Vegas draft, right? Is like when they drafted their team, every one of us, me and you included, we laughed at them and said they were going to suck. The fact that they didn't suck is testament to it. The rules were based on everyone believing that they were going to be bad. It's not their fault they beat those expectations. It's the league and the board of governors' fault for being so stupid as to not believe in them.
Well,
so they granted Vegas a loophole. Vegas doesn't have anything to feel bad about. The NHL is the stupid ones.
Well, they should change that then and make them have to give up a player too.
Nah.
Dude, they're like top of the league every year. Come on, it's a freaking
They paid $500 million to join the league. That was one of the trade-offs for paying $500 million for that team.
Okay, but what about Seattle, who paid more? What's their trade-off?
they won't. If there's an expansion draft in the next while, they won't have to do it. But there won't.
There is no expansion draft coming up that we know of. So
no.
They paid $650 million.
Yep, absolutely.
Anyways, whatever. Blech. Stupid Vegas. I love Vegas. They're so fun. Okay.
Yeah, they're a great team. I'm so happy for them. Like, it's just, they're easy to root for.
They are. They're a fun team. Anyways, yeah. What's next?
Okay, so you wanted to touch base about our overtime strategy in the Ottawa game. So we're going to circle back to the Ottawa game. We're going to talk about that because the Winnipeg game was important, but the Ottawa game was really the key piece of our week, right? Not just in terms of value of watching, but in terms of how we played, what happened. I kind of want to dig into all the little bits that I saw here and there. So let's start overtime. You want to talk about overtime?
Okay, so my mom texted me today and said she had a strategy for overtime. So I called her, and her strategy is we skate around in our own end over and over and over again. And then when the other team can't change because they're tired from watching us skate around and or trying to get us to stop skating around, that's when we put on CAUFIELD and score the goal. Does that sound like a strategy to you?
I think that's what most teams try to do now, right? Like,
not really.
Like what I noticed I noticed that 3-on-3 overtime is getting coached to death, right? Because the idea behind it was they were supposed to be trading chances back and forth and get wild, right? Now they just even the play we scored the game-winning goal on, Petrie didn't see an opportunity, so he circled around, left the zone, reloaded again. There's a lot of skating around and waiting for that perfect moment. I don't like that, but I understand why coaches do it. But the strategy of, if you can outskate, like if you have fresh legs and you can score, of course.
But is that what other teams are doing? Because I don't see any other team standing on the ice for like 3 minutes, just passing back and forth, and usually to Price, but he was out. Like, that doesn't seem like a normal strategy to me. Does it to you?
Yeah, definitely.
Really? Other teams do that? It's not just us?
Yeah, other teams do that all the time. Like their coach is like, do not give up the puck. If you don't have a lane, don't force a play. Spin around, come back. We'd rather keep it fresh. Because it's only 3 men, you can rotate more and keep people fresher,
Right. Because usually when we play other teams, they don't do that. They just try to score.
Well, it also depends on the teams. Like Ottawa doesn't necessarily do that, but Toronto will load up their big guns. Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, but okay. I just find like Edmonton just goes hardcore and tries to beat us. I don't know. I just found it a very strange.
Yeah, because with McDavid, they can do that, right? If you have a McDavid, of course, you just
plays 4 or 5 minutes.
The puck to McDavid and let him go.
Did you see his goal last night? Whew.
Yeah. Did you see his stats?
No. Oh, how he's at like 100 points or 96 points or something? 87 points?
Yes, he played his 400th career game yesterday. He has a better points per game than Sidney Crosby in that same time span. So he's outproduced him in a harder era to score in.
I wish he was in a different division too. Well, next year he will be, so it's fine.
I think there's a big, I don't know if it's an issue because it is what it is kind of, but like imagine how good it would be for business if McDavid was drafted by like Detroit, Yeah, or us. Like you've got this generational product, arguably a top 5 player of all time, maybe like we're like he, who knows, right?
Right.
And he's stuck in Edmonton.
Well, so was Gretzky.
Yeah, but no one watched hockey back then. That's the whole point.
But imagine if he was drafted by the Bruins or the Rangers.
Yeah, it'd be wild.
Yeah, no, you're right. Or us. We would have been nice to get him. We're a hockey.
Yeah, we definitely would get the exposure for it, right? Like, imagine if we would have got Sidney Crosby, and like, don't get me wrong, Carey Price is cool and all, but like, man, Sidney Crosby, Habs fan, coming to play for Montreal, that would have been nuts.
I'll still take him, Sid. If you want to come, we're here. We're here for you. No,
That's the overtime thing. So the overtime part, like, it's a good strategy. We need to keep doing that. That makes a lot of sense to me.
And it worked. And Cole Caulfield, apparently he can score, which is awesome because we needed that. So we were happy.
What did you think of Ben Sherratt in that game?
I thought Sherratt played great last night.
Yeah, he seems much more engaged and involved, right?
Yeah, same against Winnipeg. I really hope Weber's okay. I would let Weber rest for a bit, not because he's playing. I mean, he hasn't been playing great, but I would let him rest solely for that he's ready for the playoffs and that he's healthy. I don't want him rushing back because he's Weber. I want him to come back healthy. And right now we're okay. We have like 400 defense, so it's okay. Is
it possible that you're saying that because the defense looked a lot better and you're worried about messing with it?
Partly, but also partly because I really don't want Weber in the lineup if he's hurt.
Do you want Weber in the lineup if he's healthy?
does it matter what I want? We know Ducharme wants him in the lineup.
That's true. I just think like there's a lot of that, right? Like so who are our injuries right now? Price, Gallagher, Byron, Tatar, Weber.
Yeah.
Right? Am I missing anybody? So we're missing those 5 players that are like literally it's captain, assistant captain, top scorer from last year and franchise goaltender. And our team looked better. That's messed up.
It is messed up, but why are you surprised? That's how we always are in Montreal. Come on.
But what is that then? Like
maybe they have less pressure, so they're playing better, kind of like how Ottawa plays. I don't know, but you're right. I mean, it doesn't really make sense, especially because we are missing our assistant captain, leading scorer, number 1 goalie. I mean, you'd think we stink a lot more than we do. I don't know. I find it very strange. I'm excited for Gallagher to come back just because I like him when he's in the lineup, but we do have a horrible record when he's not. I don't agree that it's all should be up to him, but it is apparently. So I'm anxious for him to come back, and I'm anxious for Price to come back, but only, again, if they're healthy. I don't want anybody rushing back before they're healthy. Like, not worth it.
So if you have the choice,
yeah,
you can have a couple of players play at 90%, so not quite healthy, to fight to get the 3rd seed spot. So we play Edmonton.
Okay.
Or do you let them sit out once we clinch, knowing that it'll mean a first-round matchup against Toronto?
Ooh. Okay, 90%. You?
I would have them play because I think having them gear up is important.
I also don't know if it matters if we play Toronto or Edmonton in the first round. Playoffs are a whole other beast. I just think it's easier to contain Draisaitl and McDavid versus Toronto. That's my only concern.
Yeah, I think Toronto's deeper than they have been before, and Edmonton's not deep at all, right? So there's something to that for sure.
Although both goalies aren't great, and their defense on both are iffy. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
If we could still Deneau, Connor McDavid, I feel good about that.
Yes. Even if, you know what, even if KK takes him, KK can be good against him too. Or Suzuki. They're both okay. And Evans is great too lately.
No, it's gotta be Deneau, right? It has.
Well, yes, but who takes Draisaitl?
That's the issue, right? That's the challenge. It's got to be one of KK or Suzuki.
I hope it's not Eric Stahl again. That was fun that one time that happened. Oh yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. How is your boy Stalzy?
Well, we won, I guess. Like he's happy about that. I hope.
He looked good last night.
Yeah, like he's trying that line. So like we were going to talk about lineup, so I'll start talking about it. Whatever that lineup is, the Frolik Stahl Perry line is slow, but it looked okay.
I think they're like the 2010 line, or they're like I don't even know what to call them. They're just old. Like maybe like OAF line or something. I don't know.
I just find it weird because, like, individually, each one of those players, you're like, they're not that effective anymore by themselves, you know? They weren't effective on different lines, or they had issues that Perry's been good, whatever. But when they came together, it was like, okay, well, this is good. And they don't have any chemistry. They've never played together before, you know? So what made it that line clicked? I don't know what it is, but it was super interesting.
It is. I would call them the Olaf line. So the old AF. Olaf. There we go. That's their name.
What does the L stand for?
It's the name of the guy in Frozen, and I just like the name. So old OLAF.
Oh, okay. You kept I got it.
Well, because old Daff sounds dumb, so we'll go with Olaf.
Yeah, I thought it was OAF, like the old is.
Yeah, it is. It is that. But I'm putting in the L because then it makes more sense than Oaf. Oh, it could be the Oaf line too. Choose one. Oaf or Olaf. Either one works. Whatever.
Okay, well, LFG to the next line. KK Deneau and Josh Anderson. That was weird, right?
Yeah, I don't really like it. First of all, have you noticed how Anderson has not been scoring at all since he's been with Deneau? Have you noticed?
He's been generating some good chances, though.
Yeah, but he's not like scoring. I would switch Deneau and KK, put KK in the center there. But I would honestly take KK off that line. I don't like KK on that line. I don't like him playing wing. Maybe I'm alone in that. He's effective as a center. Like, I mean, I like that he gets more minutes when he's playing with them, but I would possibly swap Deneau and KK, and then I would swap Deneau off that line and give them someone else.
Yeah, I was thinking. Remember we were talking about it last week. When they first announced these lines, I think the reason why they want to do it is so that KK plays against top competition with Dano and has a chance to learn. What that says to me is that they're hoping come playoff time. So if we're playing Edmonton, he's the guy who takes Draisaitl, kind of thing.
It makes sense, but I personally would give Dano, honestly, you know my feelings on this. I would give him Lehkonen and Armia. That's who I would put as Dano's wingers.
Well, not anymore, because Lehkonen, Evans, and Caulfield was great.
And Armia, Suzuki, and Toffoli were good too. So
yeah. Like every single line was good last game, and I know it's one game, so like I don't want to I don't want to get ahead of myself there, but hey, they look good. And if KK can, if the goal of that lineup is to give KK better defensive experience, so he's ready for the playoffs, I support that decision. It does look weird, and I don't think it should be a long-term thing at all because he shouldn't be a winger; he should be a center. But I just wish Dominic Ducharme would freaking tell us once in a while what he's thinking, you know.
Also, I don't like Lehkonen, Evans, and Caulfield. I really don't. I think Caulfield needs to be with Suzuki or KK. I really do. I don't love them together. I mean, they were okay last night. They weren't anything. Actually, they weren't great until overtime when Evans was with Caulfield and Petrie. That line wasn't doing. I mean, they were okay. They weren't wonderful, in my opinion.
Well, they were generating chances.
Yeah, but I think he'd be generating a lot more chances if he was with Suzuki or KK, to be honest with you.
So the thing about that, and that's the tricky part where I can understand what Ducharme's trying to do, is that if you have, so KK, Dano, and Anderson, right? Like they're getting their chances. You could put Caulfield there, and the Caulfield will get chances, but they're already getting chances without him. Each of the other three lines were getting chances without Cole Caulfield. Putting him on a different line, like a fourth line, if Caulfield moved to be, playing with, I don't know, Suzuki, let's say, that fourth line of Evans, Lehkonen, and whoever the other person is, they wouldn't be generating any chances at all. They'd just be a defensive line.
Well, they were saying how the Lehkonen, Evans, Caulfield line has become our third line, and the Frolic, Stahl, and Perry line has become our fourth line. But the truth is, I just don't think of. I mean, I know Evans plays better when he plays with offensive talent. I just find that line. I mean, I also like that he gets easier talent to play against, so he has more chances to score. But I understand that, and I get that. But if you have Dano, Suzuki, and KK all as centers, he can be with whoever that third line is of those three centers too. Well, again, I wouldn't put him with Dano. I would put him with KK or Suzuki. But
I just like the work that Lehkonen does in the boards and stuff. Like he'll get some pucks, and that, if he's grinding and Jake Evans is grinding, that gives Caulfield some time to slip away into his spots.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd rather him with Suzuki or KK personally, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think we'll see against the Toronto game if they keep that rolling, right? I'd be curious to see. I'm curious to see what the lineups are for the next game.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about that game. I hope we crush them.
You know what else I hope we do?
What? I
hope we stop hitting the post as often as we do.
Yeah, you know what else I also hope we do besides hitting the post, which we do way too much? I agree with you on that. I also wish we'd stop hitting as much as we do also. I have a comment about Romanov, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So he's playing with Sherratt now on the top pairing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so last night I didn't like his game. And part of the reason I didn't like his game is I found that he kept trying to go for the hit, which is what he does. And when he plays against the lesser high-end guys on the third and fourth line, that's okay. But when you're playing against a better talent, or like Matthews and Marner and those people, you don't want to always go for the hit. You want to go for the puck. And I just find sometimes he reminds me of Emelin a bit, and how he just likes to go for the hit. And part of the reason with me, and I don't like hitting as much, not that it's not there for a reason, it's sometimes fine, but if you're hitting, it's because you don't have the puck. So I'd rather get possession of the puck over hitting. Does that make sense?
Yep. There are two reasons to hit, right? The first is to separate puck from body and to gain possession. The other is to hurt or punish somebody, right? And like if you're just doing it to hurt and punish, like there's some playoff grind to that, whatever. But ideally you're hitting people to get control of the puck. And I think I hear what you're saying is that he's not trying to get control of the puck. He's just thumping.
Exactly. And it bothers me because I'm like, look, if we clinch the playoffs or we're just playing for kicks or whatever, fine, I get it. Or if you're playing against the third and fourth liners, I get it. But you're playing on the top pairing now. Now's not the time to be going for the hit. You know what I mean? Now's the time to get the puck. And
mistakes are more costly.
Yeah. And I noticed him making a lot of mistakes last night. And I wasn't truly enamored with that style of play by him. That's all. I don't know. I wasn't a fan. That's all.
And they always hit the post.
I was just going to say, and so they're hitting people and the post way too often for my liking. Exactly.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. I wish there was a statistic that we could see to see how many posts are hit. Like, I don't know what the team leading in the NHL is, but it feels like it's us because it feels like it happens all the time. We miss shots. We hit the post. Like, we miss a lot of shots.
We do. Do they not? Do you see the game? I think it was, who are we winning? Calgary, where we couldn't hit the net. The net was empty and we couldn't hit the net. Did you see that?
Yep.
Like 5 people tried and couldn't hit it. Really? It can't be that hard.
Yep. It was awkward.
They need to work on that. Do they work on it in practice, do you think?
I don't think so. And that's exactly it, right? Like, I know the players work on their shots individually, but I don't think there's a shooting coach on the team, and there should be.
Yeah, maybe Corey Perry wants to become that.
Maybe Steven Stamkos wants that job. Okay.
Maybe he wants to play for us first, too. Yeah.
Maybe, but Tampa would have to retain.
Okay.
If Tampa Bay wins the cup this year, it's like, knock on wood. If Tampa Bay wins the cup this year, do you think they're like, screw it, we've got 2 now. We don't need to keep all these people. We can just start reloading?
No.
Damn.
You think they would do that, really?
Well, because they're in a cap crunch for next year pretty hard, right? Like, Kucherov is not going to be injured next year, so they have to figure this out.
He's injured this year? Really?
Well, he's not going to be on LTIR next year.
Yeah, well.
Right? So they have to dump $8 million of salary, 8.5.
Well, I will gladly take Braden Point off their hands if they want.
Well, that's the one you don't get rid of. Right?
Why?
Like, you can rebuild with Point and Kucherov and sacrifice basically everything else to keep Hedman, keep Sergachev. The rest you can get enough back in return in trades and stuff that you're set for the next cycle. I don't know.
Oh,
they were smart of it because they're a Steve Yzerman team, even though he's not the GM now. Like, Steve Yzerman knows about windows being open and closed. I would assume that Julien Brisebois knows this also by virtue of working with Steve Yzerman. You know, like, at what point in time are you like, ooh, Stamkos is 31, you know, like, or 30, you know, McDonough's 35, et cetera, you know?
Oh, I would gladly take Stamkos off their hands, and I would take McDonough. Well, McDonough not so much, but I would take, well, he was already ours. I would take Stamkos. I would take Kucherov. I would take pretty much anybody on their team, but I really would love to have Braden Point. Really like Braden Point.
Never going to happen.
But he's so good.
I think, is his contract up this year? No, he's got one more year, right?
I don't know, but he's so good. Oh, he looks so good in a Habs jersey.
I don't think he's ever worn a Habs jersey.
I said he looks so good in a Habs jersey. I didn't say he looks good in a Habs jersey.
So he's got one more year after this, so he's making $6.75 million. So next year's his last year, and then he's an RFA. They're gonna have to give him like $11 million.
Okay.
No. So, like, if you're gonna give him that raise, there's a lot of work to be done there to figure out that cap.
Well, maybe they should just trade him for us. Trade him to us, rather. Sorry, that'd be English. Yeah.
For Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, and Kotkaniemi.
Well, no, I don't want to decimate our whole team. No one's getting Cole Caulfield off of my hands. No way. No.
There you go.
I mean, they can take anybody not in Cole Caulfield. No one's getting Cole Caulfield. P.S. Tyler Toffoli has 27 goals, man.
3rd in the NHL, I believe.
27 goals for Tyler Toffoli.
It's incredible. Like, well, I don't know where we'd be without him. I know where we'd be. We'd be, 2 spots down in the standings.
We'd be, hello, Buffalo. All right. And here's a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. This is a public service announcement reminding you about one important thing. Sunscreen. Why do you need to wear sunscreen? Because at some point this year, you'll be watching playoff hockey on a patio. Sunscreen. Wear it.
All right. And we're back, and Ashley still wants Braden Point on the team. Imagine that.
And Noah still believes it'll never happen, but wishes it would. Okay, so we're gearing up for playoffs now. I feel good, knock on wood again, that we're going to be in the playoffs. Okay. I wanted to talk to you about the idea of playoff bubbles. What are your thoughts on them and how we think it'll impact the team?
So I'm actually for playoff bubbles for a number of reasons. First of all, being some stadiums allow fans, some don't. I don't think that's fair in the playoffs. Well, in Canada, if no one's allowed fans, it's fine. But once you get to the 3rd and 4th round, well, if it's another team other than the Habs, I don't really care what happens. But if the Habs are still in it, first of all, I don't want fans in the arenas. That scares me so much, given that I'm a terrified person and I can't get my second shot until August. So I don't want people in the arenas making the players sick who haven't been vaccinated yet anyways. However, I'm all for playoff bubbles. I think they need to control the area and make sure that everybody stays in line and that you don't have, like, what happens if what happened to the Canucks happens in the playoffs? What do?
You postpone the series.
You can't. Not everyone else is going to wait for you to get healthy.
Yeah, they can.
Not if it's 3 weeks. They're going to the Olympics and it has to be done by July 20 something.
It doesn't have to be.
Well, that's what they're saying. That's why they're pushing this to be over to start the first round by like May 13th or something, or May 15th or whatever the date is.
Right, but they're not going to disqualify a team over COVID and keep going, right? Like, imagine the freak out.
Well, but imagine if they had it in a bubble, they didn't have to worry about it.
Right, and so in this bubble, so let's say you're picking a neutral, you're suggesting a neutral site bubble.
Yes.
So like Montreal and Boston will play in the Stanley Cup final in the city of Columbus, let's say.
Sure. I'm thinking more like what they did last time with like Ottawa and Edmonton, but I mean Toronto and Edmonton, but sure. Yeah, whatever. So
in that bubble, you say no fans at all from any team should be allowed in that bubble.
Exactly.
There's no way the NHL is going to do that.
Why not?
Because they are so cash strapped, they would take that bubble and they would put it in LA, even if LA is not making the playoffs, and sell out the entire stadium. There's no way in hell they would not let fans into the building for the playoffs.
But I'm saying third and fourth round only. They can't, because that's when the two sides combine.
So what about, so Montreal, obviously the Canadian teams are not going to have fans in the building. It'll still be illegal, right? So you're saying that in the first two rounds, no teams should have fans at all because the Canadian teams can't have fans? No,
I'm saying in the first round, I don't care what happens because Canada's not going to have any fans, so it doesn't affect our outcomes or our games. I don't think it's fair if a place like Dallas is allowing 100% occupancy and a place, not occupancy, but 100% people, and a place like, let's say they're playing, I don't know, Minnesota is, or whoever's in their division is only allowed to have 30%. Do you think that's fair?
No, but do you think the NHL would care?
Well, no, but I think it affects, I don't think it's fair for the team, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair for I think it's an unfair advantage for the home team to have fans in the stadium, but I don't see a scenario in which there won't be fans, right? Like what's going to happen is, let's say Montreal's playing, I don't know, like freaking Colorado, okay? Montreal's playing Colorado in the conference final.
Okay.
They're going to land in Colorado.
Yeah.
They're going to play the entire 7-game series in Colorado, selling out every single game to Colorado fans.
No, first of all, they can't do that. They're talking actually about trying to figure out a way for them to come to Montreal and play like the proper games, or whoever wins. But I don't think that's fair. I really don't think that, like, because if we're not allowed to have fans, why should Colorado have fans?
Yeah, it's going to be an unfair advantage, and I think that's going to happen, right?
See, I don't think it will happen. I think they should put it into a bubble where no one has fans for third and fourth round, and that makes it safe. And then you don't have to worry about, first of all, traveling the border all the time. That's done. And we don't have to worry about COVID necessarily if they're actually staying in a hotel instead of like what they did in Toronto and Edmonton in September.
So the average NHL arena has what, 18,000 seats?
But right now it's all a mix because every arena has different numbers of people that can come in.
So let's say 10,000 seats. Cool.
Okay.
A playoff ticket sells for $100 easy. That's kind of a low ball, right?
Right.
That's $1 million per game. There's no way in hell the NHL is going to give up $1 million per game. And that's lowballing it, right? If it's 17,000 seats times $100, $1.7 million. If it's the Bell Center, and it won't be the Bell Center, let's say it's Madison Square Garden in New York, right? So that's 17,000 seats times the $250 they'll charge for a ticket. That's $4.2 million. There's no chance they're not allowing fans in the building. Like, fans are going into those buildings.
Well, and as of April,
if they want the money that bad, and clearly they do, because that's why they're having a season, there's no way they turn down the money.
Okay, well, as of April 14th, the arenas not having fans are all of Canada, Chicago, and I saw one other place that wasn't in Canada. Hold on. No, maybe that's just Chicago.
So Canada is the only team that's impacted. Like, the Canadian teams are the only ones impacted.
Winnipeg, Canucks, Maple Leafs. Oh, the San Jose Sharks are not allowing fans. Ottawa, us, Edmonton, and Chicago, and Calgary. We're the only teams not allowing fans, but the other ones, the number of fans they're having is 10%, 46%, 12%, 10%, 15%, 22, 25, 16.7, 15, 20, 10, 10, 15, 25, 21, 23, 20, and 11%.
Yeah, that's too much money. There's no way fans are going into those buildings.
They're allowing, except for one team, it's all under 5,000. The only team that's having more is Arizona. Do they even have 7,900 fans in Arizona?
Right now, you could have two old people, wrestling in an arena and it would fill. Like Lansdowne Park today in Ottawa was jam packed. It's getting ready for Tulip Festival. It's just flowers, and every single person in the city came out to come see it because there's nothing else to do. I
think it's going to be a very sticky situation if they allow fans for some teams and not for others when it comes down to like the Canadian team entering the American fray. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's an advantage to us in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think that's really fair.
Yeah, and so that's the kind of the part we're getting to now is that it's not going to be fair because it's going to happen, and an American team isn't coming to Canada for the conference final. Like the Canadian team is going down there, obviously. So we're going into a building where we have. So like that's what I wonder what they're going to do. Is it going to be every single game in the same arena, or are they going to switch it to a neutral site so that someone will cheer for let's say it is we're playing the Colorado Avalanche, right?
Yep.
What if half the series was played in Detroit where they freaking hate the Colorado Avalanche?
Well, I don't think they're going to have. First of all, Montreal Canadiens fans won't be there because we're not allowed to cross the border.
No, of course not. That's not going to happen regardless, right? But do you think that maybe you get the Detroit fans to cheer for the Montreal Canadiens because they hate the Colorado Avalanche that much?
Well, I think they hate us too. We actually play them in their actual division all the time. So I don't think they'll like us any more than they like Colorado.
Well, no, Colorado's their rival, right? It's a special hatred.
Yes, but I mean, they don't like us anymore. So maybe
it'd be like if we're playing Boston, it's the same level of hate, So imagine if the Bruins are playing the Leafs and it works out that they're coming to Canada and they're playing in Toronto. The Bruins home games should be in Montreal because the Montreal fans would cheer for the Bruins over the Leafs.
I know I would.
Because we all agree, I think, and to varying degrees, that fans in the stands impact the game. It fires up the players, right? It does matter. What do we do? How do you recreate that energy? And I feel like it's weird that no one's asked that question yet, Well,
I wonder if they put this is going to sound ridiculous, but screens, iPads, and that everybody has a code to log in and you can cheer with your iPad on the seat. You know what I mean? And you see those walls of all the fans, but maybe they do a seat with all the fans or something. And you have I don't know what they're going to do, but I think it really is going to have an impact and a negative impact for the Canadian team. Again, if it's not Montreal, I don't care, but I think it's just going to be a negative impact. It's concerning. Do you know that we have the biggest arena in the league?
Yep, I did.
The number here is wrong by a lot.
22,000 and change, right? So seats.
21,000 and change, yeah. Except no one even hits 20,000. Everyone else is under 19.
Yep. I said the average must have been 17. That was my thought, but
yeah, weird. Anyways, but
speaking of arenas, they were talking because it might be the last Islanders game at Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're trying to get moved to the new stadium, right?
Right.
Yeah. Legendary old building.
Yeah.
Speaking of legendary and old, Ryan Miller's retiring.
I know. Did you see how nice the Kings were to go over and shake his hand last night after the game?
Yeah, what a dude move by the LA Kings. I really like it.
Did it make you like them a little bit more?
No, but there are players on the Kings that I like Jonathan Quick and Ryan Miller because they shared the net for the Olympics, right? They had a good moment together. That warmed my heart. Todd McClellan was talking to him in the lineup, right? And you could see that Ryan Miller's face lit up it meant something to him. So
yeah,
Ryan Miller's just everyone talks about how Marc-Andre Fleury's that most lovable guy ever. For me, it was always Ryan Miller. I just think he's a genuinely nice guy. I really like him.
Yeah, I really like him too. I also love Luongo. I'm a big Luongo fan.
Who would not like Roberto Luongo, except for Vancouver Canucks fans right now because of his cap recapture? But I'm sure they'll get over it quickly. Luongo's so likable.
He's so funny. I remember watching him in an All-Star game and he had the mic on. And he's like, oh, hold on, I got to make a save. One sec, jump, makes a save. And then he goes right back to talking. It was so funny. Love him. He's such a character. Love Luongo. Strombone 1. Yeah,
remember when everyone finally figured out who it was? They're like, oh, it's Roberto Luongo.
Oh, he's so funny. I love him. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with the playoffs. I'm sure they'll make some announcement in the next coming weeks.
So the NHL has that director of events and activities and stuff, the guy who plans all their special events.
Yeah.
I would assume, because he was also one of the architects of the playoff bubble, I would be curious to know what he has in store for the playoffs. They must be thinking about the fan piece.
I would hope so, because I think it's a pretty integral part of the game. So we'll see.
All right. Have you got a Sherratt or not?
I do have a Sherratt or not. And I'll give you a hint. He's a dirty player.
Ew, Nazem Kadri?
No.
You're not going to put oh, wait, who else is dirty? Did we already talk about Tom Wilson? I know he's good looking.
Ding, ding, ding.
Didn't we already do Tom Wilson?
I don't think so. We might have. But if we didn't, it's Tom Wilson. If we didn't do him, my bad.
Tom Wilson's a good-looking guy. And
he is a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he gave a hit. He was trending on Twitter a couple nights ago for a hit. I saw the hit. It was fine. It wasn't a good hit, but it was just a penalty,
I don't think we did Tom Wilson yet, but if we did do Tom Wilson, I'll have another one. Carey Price, also a great-looking guy.
I think we did Carey Price also, but that's
crap.
okay.
Am I running out of them already?
Yeah, you might have to start going to Joel Lundqvist,
He is hot because he looks just like his brother.
Yep.
No, there's a couple of other ones. Hold on. I'll come up with one on the spot.
You're just going to have to start keeping a list of them.
I should go back and re-listen. So Tyler Seguin, he's pretty cute too.
He is. Yeah, he's a good looking guy.
Okay, so we have Tom Wilson / Carey Price / Tyler Seguin. So we have 3 of them tonight.
Young Carey Price, I'll give you, but Carey Price right now with his weird hair, I don't know. I can't get behind that.
Oh, yeah, we did do Carey Price because we discussed his weird hair already. Yeah, too bad. Apparently, I like goalies, though. Between him and Lundqvist, yeah.
Well, this is a good-looking goalie.
Braden Holtby's a pretty good-looking goalie, too.
He looks like a hockey player.
He looks like a rough and tough grizzly bear kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. If you wore lumberjack outfits, I wouldn't be surprised.
I was watching this show the other night. Have you ever heard of the One Day at a Time remake?
Nope.
Okay, so anyways, there's a show from I don't know, the 70s maybe. Valerie Bertinelli was on it, the original. Anyways, they remade it, and it's really cute. And there's this really, really, really hot guy on it. I'm like, oh, it looks like Bradley Cooper, but it's not Bradley Cooper. This guy's name is Ed Quinn, and he is so good looking. Look him up, Ed, Edquinn. And he is just he looks like that. He's like a man. He's really cute. I'm a little bit obsessed with him. He's really good looking. Look at him, man. I
will look this up.
Look him up now. He's really hot.
Okay, how do you spell this?
Ed Quinn. Quinn.
Oh, I know who that is.
He's so hot.
Yeah.
Those are Two Broke Girls. That's where I've seen him. Oh my God, he's so hot. Oh my God, I liked him on Two Broke Girls. How did I forget? I forgot his name, but I knew I'd seen him before. He is so good looking. Right, he played Max's boyfriend, I think, on Two Broke Girls. Yeah, he played Randy. Oh my God, he's so good. He was on Revenge also. I've seen him on
Two Broke Girls is a good show.
Pardon?
Two Broke Girls is a good show.
It is a good show. Do you watch her new show, Beth Bears' new show, The Neighborhood?
No, I do not.
Oh, it's cute. It's also very cute. But this Ed Quinn guy is just, oh my God, he's 6'4". He's so much man. Too Many Men, he's just so much man. I love it.
Do you ever listen to the Too Many Men podcast?
No.
They don't. They haven't had an episode out in a couple, a month and a half now, whatever. But they were a really good podcast to listen to for hockey. It's Shanna Goldman, Allison Lukin, and Sarah Sivian from The Athletic. The 3 of them. Well, I don't think Allison Lukin's with The Athletic anymore, but whatever. Really great hockey talk.
Sivian blocked me on Twitter. I think I insulted the Carolina Hurricanes about Aho, or asked her a question and she got mad at me and blocked me.
Yeah, you probably didn't insult the Hurricanes. You probably insulted her or something.
I don't remember, but she blocked me. I don't normally insult people. I try very hard not to. Speaking of which,
she gets a lot of harassment on social media. It's not cool.
Oh, we haven't been posting our happy, positive moments of the game. We really have to do that.
I was really happy about Ben Sherratt in the last game. I normally get freaked out when he would pinch, but I think he was doing it right. I think he just looked really great in this game. So my happy moment was Ben Sherratt. Okay,
well, mine was Cole Goal Scott. God, I can't even say it.
That's too easy. I figured, and I was I'd leave that for you.
Thank you. Well, mine was Cole Caulfield because I screamed and I was super excited. And what a beauty play by Petrie. Petrie's also my other one. He was great.
He's always great.
I know you love Jeff Petrie.
So good.
I don't like his mustache though.
No, it's terrible. He needs to get rid of it, but not now that we're winning.
Yeah, great. It's gonna follow us.
All right, you got anything else for us?
No, just don't be a dick, people. Don't be mean. Be nice.
Don't be mean. Everyone be nice and cheer for the Habs because this week we got 4 games. And if we win 2 of them, we're basically clinched. But if Calgary loses more, we're happy about that too. And Vancouver.
Yeah, we have 3 games against Toronto this week. Let's hope we sweep them.
Let's hope we sweep them just to make them freak out.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Awesome. We'll be back later this week with our weekend one-timer.
Yes. As always, follow us on social media at FumblePuck Pod, except on Facebook where it's FumblePuck Podcast. Please hit subscribe so that you always know when we launch a new episode. And make sure you follow us. And if you have any questions, you know how to reach us. Have a wonderful week and go Habs go.
Woo!